Hey gang, welcome back. It's Deltia from Deltia'sGaming.com here to talk about character creation, getting started, and making your character in Elder Scrolls Online. You should watch this because it's really important the race you pick from the start because there's passive bonuses that will affect you throughout your entire gameplay. Now, some of these passives change, but it's really important to kind of find out what character archetype you want to be in the end, so that way you enjoy the experience throughout. So let's get started in Elder Scrolls Online, Tamriel A to Z Part 2, Character Creation. Alright, first thing you do is you can go on the left hand side and have the play button selected, or you can go to some settings, basic graphic, visual, audio settings if you want to tune that while you play. But I'm going to get started and log in. Don't hack my password here. It's not Fluffy Buckets 37. But you log in with your username that we created in the last video, password. It's going to take you to your character select screen. Your first time here, you're going to see something different than what I have. As you can see, this is all my characters. I play a lot. I have a lot of characters. Each one, I have a character from each type at max level. I'm going to show you what those are, what you can expect from the classes, and remember that they change. So this isn't set in stone, the information I tell you. In fact, 1.6 is going to hit next week, which could throw a big change in the system. So I'm going to talk in general terms of what you can expect from each class archetype, and then what you can expect from the racial bonuses. First thing you want to do here, you get character setting add-ons. Add-ons is very important. Now, this is the PC version of the game, and you know I have a million add-ons here. You can turn them all off. You can select all characters, individual characters, and basically tune your add-ons to your characters. So if you're playing a console, you're probably not going to have that setting. But first thing you need to do, create character. Okay, this is a pretty detailed screen here, so stick with me. You got a lot of different options, and basically on the top here, you work left to right. Race, class, body, face. Okay, so the first thing we need to discuss here is your name. Deltia the Wildfire. Yeah, that's a cool name. I'm going to be male because I always play male. Now we have alliances. Daggerfall Covenant, Aldmeri Dominion, Ebonheart Pact. Before we go any further, I want to go to ElderScrollsOnline.com and explain the difference between alliances, because it's really, really important. There's currently 3 alliances in the game. Daggerfall Covenant up here, Ebonheart Pact to the northeast, and then southwest, Aldmeri Dominion faction. 3 factions. What do they do? What do they represent? Well, really the factions specifically allow you to be certain races. Why is that important? Races each have a unique passive benefit that only you can get if you're in that certain alliance. Now, there's a caveat to this. You can buy the Explorers Pack, which I think is $6 right now, and that allows you to pick any race and any faction. So for me, I bought this because I wanted to play in the Aldmeri Dominion faction with my friends, but yet pick a race from Ebonheart Pact. So to summarize that up, if you go to ElderScrollsOnline.com, you hit Game Guide, Alliance, this will take you to the screen that I'm at right here. If you want to kind of see what more about the Alliance, you click Aldmeri Dominion faction. I will be playing the Aldmeri Dominion faction on PC, North American server, and then also the consoles. You scroll down, it tells you a little bit about the races, which we're going to cover real quick. So, if you don't have the Explorers Pack, you can only pick High Elf, Wood Elf, Khajiit. That's why it's so important to know what races you can get. And then specifically, High Elf has certain bonuses that you're not going to get on a Wood Elf. So your faction matters. It matters a lot. So let's talk about each individual faction, each individual races, and list some passives. Note, the passives are subject to change. I will update these on my website, so make sure you stick tuned to DeltiasGaming.com for the latest passive information. The Daggerfall Covenant's in the northwest of the map. It's kind of the desert-ish place. It's a really cool area to quest in. I like this. Breton, which is kind of like your magic class. It has some passes for magic, and it's really like a hybrid between an elf and a human. It's a good class if you want to play a magic-based class in the endgame. Orc, this is your standard, big tanky meatball Shrek looking guy, if you will, if you want to play that for the Daggerfall Covenant. And then you got Redguard. Redguard's like your assassin type character that uses a lot of things stamina based. So it's a really good class if you plan on playing a dual wield or something weapon based. So you get 3 choices here: magic, tank, Redguard. Now, remember that you can use a combination of anything. You can play a magical character as a Redguard and still like it. The question you have to ask yourself is, what is the most valuable thing for you to do? Is it to have fun? Is it to be the most powerful character? Is it to be, RP with a specific character type? That's really going to determine what you pick here. Now, each of these have different passive bonuses. So why do I say the Breton is a magical based character? Because they have a reduced spell cost, passive. Meaning, you get that throughout the game once you level up. I play in the Aldmeri Dominion faction, so you can call me the Knife Elves, Knife Ears if you want. This is kind of like your general elf creature type place. So what you have here is a High Elf, one of the best magic affinity classes, if you will. So a really strong caster type archetype. If you want to be a caster, you want to go High Elf. Wood Elf? This is what I consider one of the weaker classes in the game. The passes aren't that good, but it's maybe set up for like a bow stamina based user. A lot of people like this class for RP, so if you're a role player, might be something you want to look into. Khajiit, I love my Khajiit. Now it looks really cool. It's the cat type. It's really nimble, it has a stealth advantage. So if you want to play sneaky, and you're looking forward to maybe, rocking the hand of death with the justice system or something like that, Khajiit would be really cool to roll, and that's what I use in my Nightblade. So those are the 3 you could pick. Now you notice Imperial here, we're going to get to that. Moving on the right. Ebonheart Pact, yeah, the Filthy Nords. You have an Argonian here. Argonian are like the dinosaur little creatures. I love the Argonians, they're cool. They have to have funny names. They have some good healing and poison resistance. So it's a good choice if you want to be a magical user, especially a healer, as they have a bonus to self-heals. Dark Elf, one of the strongest in the game, if not the strongest class to be in the game. Magic affinity and resistance to fire. That's really, really, really important, especially if you want to be a vampire. Vampires are powerful, so think about this class. Lastly, we have the Nord. This is my main as a Nord. I'm a Skyrim fanboy, and to me, there's nothing cool in a big old bearded Nord from the north. So it's a really strong, tanky type archetype. So that's what you have for the races. Now you notice there's one thing down here called Imperial. Imperial is probably the strongest race in the game, but you had to pre-order the game to get it. Or so some people call that a pay gate. Some people don't like that. Whatever. I pre-ordered the game so I can get it, and I bought the Imperial edition so I can get this race. Why is it so powerful? It has some of the best classes, the most health, the most stamina, and a self-healing melee attack. So my advice to anyone playing this game for the first time is if you have the ability to get an Imperial, do it. Because it's going to be relevant no matter what type of style you play. Whether it's a magic, whether it's stamina, whether it's tank, whether it's whatever. So that's really what I would think doing. And races choice really do matter in the end. But once again, before we pick, ask yourself, what's most important? Is it to have fun? Do you really care about your race? Is it to roleplay? Do you want the look of your character is more important? If not, you're going to pick something that might not affect your choices at the end. So for me, I want to be super powerful. This is going to be my console player, and I want to burn things down. So why not play a Dark Elf on the Aldmeri Dominion faction? Now remember, you can only pick these things on the Aldmeri Dominion faction unless you have the Explorers Pack. I do. The Explorers Pack costs a little bit of money. I think it's $3 or $4. So it's worth buying that if you want to pick a different race and a different faction. This is the character I'm going to be using for consoles. So if you want to join me on Aldmeri Dominion faction, feel free to do so. Alright, so we got our name. We're a male. I always play males. Dark Elf. I shouldn't say always. Class. Alright gang, before I talk about classes, I want to come to my website here, deltiasgaming.com, and talk about character archetypes. It's important to know that if you're new to MMOs, there's 3 kind of unique roles that you should fulfill in a group. You don't always have to do them, and the nice thing about Elder Scrolls Online is the fact that you can fulfill any role as any character. Any class can fulfill any role. That's awesome, because you don't have to start a new character if you want to heal, damage, or tank. Those are the 3 roles, the 3 archetypes. Damage or DPS, damage per second. You're just this damage dealer, and that's your main job. There's a healer. What is you're supposed to do? You're supposed to heal other people, prevent death in a group. And there's a tank. A tank is basically the person that gets all the mob's attention, all the enemy's attention, so that everyone else can do their job. Those are the 3 primary roles. Now, you don't have to pick just one. Fortunately, this game allows you to do more than one, if not all, pretty effectively. So there's 4 classes in the game. Each of them are unique, but also realize that every class has a pool of abilities that you can use together. So even if you're a Templar, a Dragonknight, Nightblade, or a Sorc, you will be able to access the sword and shield skill lines, the bow, the destruction staff. So it's nice. You have your own pool of abilities, but also a pool that everyone can use. It really allows you to feel unique as a class, but also powerful in the fact that you can access some of the same abilities everyone can. Dragonknight. This is the #1 class, my favorite class personally. It's tanky, area damage, and a fire-breathing monster. I love it. If you like up close and personal, this is for you. Nightblade, really stealthy, fun, the best burst class in the game. If you like going in there stealthy and boom, nuking someone with an impale, Nightblade is your choice. Sorc, think of the sorcerer as the magic pet class of Elder Scrolls Online. It's a lot of fun. You have some really unique abilities like Streak, which allows you to teleport or blink across the map. So if you like Magicka range-based DPS, this is for you. Lastly, we have the Templar. I think it's kind of like the jack of all trades. It's the #1 healing class in the game right now. Makes a great tank, if not the best tank, and also does some good damage. If you're new to Elder Scrolls Online, think about picking up a Templar, because you can have some good self-heals, some sustained damage, and it's easy to level. So if you want to kind of see what the game is, Templar should be a class that you pick. Now, this changes. So there's a lot of updates coming for the game and a lot of new skills as things will shake up a bit. But stay tuned for all the latest news and come to this site if you want to see what's changed. I have one specific goal in mind. I want to be the strongest Dragonknight on the consoles. So for me, I'm going to go Dragonknight, a Dunmer or a Dark Elf, Dragonknight with fire resistance, and I'll go Vampire later on in the game. So Deltia the Wildfire is going to be a Dragonknight. Moving on to Body. Now, there's a million different combos here, so we could sit here and just play with this all day. I don't want to bore you guys with that. So I just want to change my dorky little beard here, and then we'll be good. We gotta have a huge chest. We gotta be huge, right? Gut? Oh, arms. Come on, man. You're like, this guy's beefcake, dude. Legs? I'm gonna be like the biggest Dunmer ever. Look at that. Oh my god, I'm such a man. I'm so small in real life, so I have like small man syndrome. Alright, face. We gotta be heroic. Wait, where's like that big chin? Oh, and this is the best part. Texting the voice. Oh, that sounds girly. That's a pretty cool one. I like C. A laugh. What do we got? G. Oh, that's perfect. That is perfect. Now, what do we got to go do with hair? What do we get? Are we doing like dreadlocks? Or are we doing like full on? What are we doing here? How do I want long hair or do I want short hair? That looks kind of emo. I don't know. I think bald is in. I really think bald is in. So let's go bald. Go bald, a little dark. I like that. The dark Dunmer. Well, I guess we're the Wildfire, aren't we? We've got to be red. Let's do red. There we go. Age. I'm a young buck. Adornments. That means like face markings and stuff. Should we do a little beard? A little dark elf beard? Alright, that's a little stubble. It's alright. I just got up from a big fight. You know, got my battle axe. I'm good. Now, I could mess with this all day, but you know, you guys don't want to watch that probably. So, ooh, let's get like red eye. Oh, that's cool, dude. Look at that. Oh, that's sick. I look so awesome. I'm going to burn people down. And if you want to get these previews with like veteran gear, endgame gear, that's what it looks like. So you can kind of see what you'll look like at a game, or no gear. Oh, look, I'm so muscular. Oh my god. That's a man. That's a dark elf man. Brow, all that crap, it doesn't really matter. And then also you can hit random appearance. So if you guys, I spent a lot of time messing with this in my first character. But for the sake of this video, I don't want to mess with that. So you can also hit the random appearance option. I've done that a bunch of times and went from there. And now, boom, create. You're going to get an option here. Skip the Wailing Prison or play the Wailing Prison. If it's your very first time playing, you really need to play the Wailing Prison. It's the intro quest that's going to get you familiarized with the game. And that's going to be part 3. So I want you to hit play. If you're done the game, you're familiar with it, you can hit the skip option. But know that when you hit the skip option, you're going to go to the beginning starter town. You're going to have about 3 skill points, complete level 3, or you can experience it for yourself and hit play. So we hit play. The Wailing Prison. This is a pretty cool quest that's going to get you familiar with some of the story, some of the people, Cadwell, which you're going to hear about a lot in the future. Well, that concludes our second episode in Tamriel A to Z. I'm excited to start questing and show you guys some of the content in Elder Scrolls Online. As you can see the picture behind me, it's exciting to start a new character and think about the future and what you can become. The great thing about Elder Scrolls Online is the options are limitless. It really is. And you can see back here being the fire-breathing monster that I am, Dragonknight. I can't wait to show you guys how I get from A all the way to Z. No, the title isn't B, but it's pretty close. So I think this is pretty helpful for you guys. Important thing is, remember, some of these are subject to change, the passives I mean. Check my site for the latest information. Feel free to subscribe. I'm really liking these videos. A lot of good comments coming in. Let me know what you think some good character combinations are that could be helpful for new players. Thanks for watching, and as always, we'll see you in Part C.